gonna call that.
The series makes a triumphant return after what seems to be 2 years. The series is back and ready to end the first half of the farewell tour here in season number 11. Welcome to Richmond International Raceway in Richmond, Virginia, for NBC DASCAR's coverage of the Dewalt 300 here. It's the last race before the All-Star break, and it marks the end of the first half of the season. So a lot is on the line in terms of who's going to make it into the All-Star race and who's going to have to make it in virtual fan vote or the showdown. We'll break down the predicaments for that race, post-race. But want to talk about the season overall. So far through the first 8 races, it's been a blast. And couldn't done it without these drivers and you guys watching at home, making the farewell tour the best season since season number 1. Richmond, short track tempers, folks. We will see it all. We'll bring them up and start the final race of the first half right after this. And welcome back to Richmond International Raceway coverage of the Dewalt 300 here on NBC DASCAR. Mango Hornet has the night off, so I'll take you home through the next 20 laps. Let's take a look at our track telemetry here on the right side, on the left side of your screen. You see it's a 0.75 mile D-shaped oval, pit road speed 40 miles an hour. Turns are banked at 14 degrees. Front stretch is banked at 1290, banked at 8 degrees. Back stretch is shorter, 860 feet, banked at 2 degrees. So it's going to be a game changer here going around this track. Alexander Rowe qualified on pole. Christian Mayweather, Jack Dawson, Jay Barker, Jackson Lynn, Quentin Moore. Excuse me. William Brock, TJ Hanley, Paul Michaels, and Kelly Salvador rounding out your top 10. Just me tonight, so no picks presented by Nationwide. We'll get right into the race here. Feels good to be back up here in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Going to wrap up the first half of the season after what seems to be 2 years of a vacation. Hopefully these drivers are rested up and ready to go. We're going to see some bumping and banging here tonight at Richmond on the short track. Here we go. Lights are out on the Camaro pace car. And Alexander Rowe, for the first time, is going to lead this field to the green. Here we go. Pace car is off. And ladies and gentlemen, the 300 at Richmond. Time to wrap up the first half. We're green. Off turn 4, Alexander Rowe for the first time will lead a lap. This first lap led this season. And here comes the 18, Jack Dawson. Dawson, no win so far, wants to cap off the first half with a victory here today. 42, Jackson Lynn, not far behind in the 42. Winless as well, going right by Alexander Rowe. That's for second on the racetrack. Gonna go on the attack of Jack Dawson. Jackson Lynn carrying the DC Solar visor cam here today. We'll take a look at that later on in the race. Want to scope through the field, see if we have any trouble. Almost had it there with the 89 of Quentin Moore. Let's go ahead and find your defending series champion, Levi Shones. Don't think Shones is anywhere in the top 25 right now. Bernaskis, top 25 driver right there. Philip Goldberg is there. There's Levi Shones, defending series champion in 32nd. So wants to come out here with a win. and possibly secure another spot here in the playoffs. That's not going to work. Big crash, and it involves your defending series champion. A hard crash for the 2. Got up in the air and might have gotten the fence. Either way, that 2 car is destroyed. Look at the stuffing on the 2. First caution of the night, and oh! Philip Goldberg has spun it. Don't know what that was all about. First caution anyway. Jack Dawson is your leader. Let's take a look at, see what happened. Alright, this is going into turn number 1. You see they were going 3 wide, or about to go 3 wide. See the number 9 clock the 2 in the quarter panel. Doesn't let off actually. And 19 gets sent up into the wall. Actually up and into the 40. You see the 2 get jacked up there. 22 gets hard into the wall. 20 gets jacked up. Shones almost went over, by the way. Manages to keep the car leveled on the racing surface. Let's take a look at this one more time. Because I thought I saw the 2 get up into the catch fence. But that is not the case. You see the 2 almost go over, goes hard into the safer barrier. 20 goes airborne after getting hit by the 52 of Johnny Gardner. So Gardner not having a good night here, most likely going to have to get into that All-Star race next week. Virtue on the fan vote or the showdown. And so is Baranowskis. Philip Goldberg, on the other hand, had a spin. And he wasn't too happy with Gardner. I don't know what started this though. Let's take a look. Yeah. Did he get the... No. Hard to tell from that angle. Really hard to tell from the angle that we were given. So let's take a look, another look at it. Take a look at it from the helicopter. I think he got the end of the pit wall. Take a look. No, it's a transition from the flat to the track, and he gets hard into the safer barrier. 2 crashes, one big, one solo by Philip Goldberg, and a lot of drivers are taking hits here in the final race of the first half. Might want to start packing up and head to Charlotte to get ready for the showdown if you're not already in. We'll re-rack it, do it again when we come back. And welcome back to Richmond. 1 to go here was given by the starter, Jack Dawson, Jackson Lynn, Paul Michaels, William Brock, Aiden Shepard, Jake Jefferson, Griffin Lynn, Kelly Boston, Amber Forst, and Alexander Rowe, your pole sitter, finds himself back in 10th. After being on pole for the first time, that car winds up in the 10th position. As things play out right now. Field in the hands of Jack Dawson. Pace car will be off. And they're going to get into the DSN restart zone. And we're going back racing, folks. DSN restart zone, green flag is up. And Lynn, wasting no time, going to the bottom. Dawson loose, Lynn to the lead. Or is she? Here comes Dawson back on the high side. A lot on the line here. Jackson Lynn will lead. Not for long though. Here comes 41, Paul Michaels. Michaels wants that lead. Bump, bang, and do whatever you can to get up towards the front here. Just don't wreck yourself out. Big fight here up front between the leaders. Paul Michaels will inherit the lead. Let's go back deep in the field. You see Philip Goldberg. They have repaired that car to at least run minimum speed. And they repaired the 19 car as well. 40 car has a little bit of trouble there. 3 wide almost here with the 16 of Jeff Lewis. Back up front. Calm and clean. Coming to about 6 laps to go here in the Dewalt 300. Capping off what has been a remarkable first half of the season. You see Griffin Lynn going towards the front. Your winner from Vegas. Or Atlanta, excuse me, Atlanta. I think we'll visit Atlanta here one more time. Let's check the schedule actually. Check your motorsports calendar here. We will go on into the All-Star break at the checker flag of this race. Then we're back at Charlotte for the longest race of the regular season. Or of the season, excuse me, the Exalta 400. Back at Dover for the Jimmy John's 350. Road America makes its triumphant return. Johnsonville 250. Michigan for the Mile of the Pony 300. Back at Daytona for the halfway point of the season. The Rockstar Energy 250. Pocono for the Health Net 300. New Hampshire for the Windows 10 300. Indianapolis for the Lily's Diabetes 300. Eldora, first time racing on dirt, folks. The Motorcraft Mud Summer Classic. And then Kansas, the final race before the playoffs. The Nut Up 300. That'll move on into round number 1 of the 2018 DASCAR playoffs. And Paul Michaels will have 2 laps to get a win here and possibly have a shot at least making it into the playoffs. Having some camera glitches there. 2 laps to go. Having some more camera glitches here, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us. Little technical difficulties here. A lot of... As we get the white flag. White flag's in the air, 1 lap. We'll try to bring it home as best as we can. Knowing that with all these camera glitches, this is the best camera we can give you at this moment in time. But here we come. Paul Michaels, winner at Richmond. A lot of camera glitching here. A lot of technical difficulties, but we are at the end of the race. And Paul Michaels, Aiden Shepard, Griffin Lynn, Jackson Lynn, Alexander Rowe, William Brock got caution on the speedway. Jack Dawson, Kelly Boston, Max Anderson, and Jay Jefferson rounding out your top 10. Rounding out the running field here is the 40 of Tommy Tang, Baranowskis, and Johnny Gardner retired from the race after the early caution. That's it. The first half is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. How about that to end it? Ended it on some camera glitching, but nonetheless, the first half of the season of the regular season is in the books. We will start the second half at Charlotte. But don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. Post-race is coming up. We'll break down the All-Star race and the All-Star Open. We'll break it all down and give you guys the rundown of next week's All-Star festivities on the other side. And welcome back, Richmond International Raceway post-race edition of DASCAR Nationwide Series Season number 11. After a great race we saw here today at Richmond, it's time to break down the All-Star format for next weekend's All-Star festivities, All-Star Open, and All-Star Race. So, if you don't make it in on the fan vote, you have to make it in virtue of the Open, and here's the breakdown. 3 stages. It'll be 20, 20, 10. Stage 1, 20. Stage 2 is 20. Stage 3 is 10 laps. Winner of the all 3 stages will advance to the All-Star race. So first place is the crown jewel that you all want to chase right now. And then the All-Star field. We will take 2017 and 2018 winners, those that are still with us from last year's season number 10, and we will bring the first 9 winners of this race of this season. All-Star winners and also DASCAR presidents are locked in as well. So if you're a DASCAR president, make sure you pay close attention. Also, we will have the fan vote winner, and then the nationwide open stage winners. And then this is how the format breaks down. Stage 1 is 30 laps. Then we will waive the caution. And then normal pitch strategy is in effect. We will have 1 attempt at overtime should there be a late race caution. Stage 2 is 20 laps. Stage 3 is 20. And then stage 4, the one that you want to win, is 10 laps. Once again, normal stage breaks. 1 attempt at overtime. No mandatory pit stops or pit strategy. But you guys can play it by your books. So that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, All-Star Week is upon us. Finally. Ladies and gentlemen, it's good to be back. It's been a pleasure throughout the first 9 races to bring you guys DASCAR racing here on what has been a remarkable start to my final season here up in the booth. On that, we head off to Charlotte for next week's All-Star festivities. Do not miss a lap next week. We'll see you at Charlotte, ladies and gentlemen.